Hello, hello, Hidden Hermit here. Let's have a look at a world card, shall we? And this is the world card from the Dreaming Way Tarot. As you may or may not know, I'm a big fan of this deck. I love its ethereal nature. And well, world cards, they can be tricky to fathom, especially in the context of a reading. It's very easy to pull a single card out and go, oh yeah, it means completion, the end of a cycle, fulfillment, accomplishment, happiness. It's easy to do that, but in the context of a reading, it can be very hard to fathom, depending on where. If the card comes up in the past position, you know, were you fulfilled and you're now moving on? Has a new cycle begun? All sorts of different things. I'm digressing already. The reason why I'm showing you this card is because I love it. I think this is such a cracking wee card, mostly because of its whimsical nature. But because it's whimsical, it doesn't dilute the meaning in any way, if you ask me. Is it one of my favourite world cards? Absolutely, it really is. So let's have a closer look at this. At first glance, you think, well, what the hell's going on here? This isn't a classic world card. Compare it to the Waite-Smith, or indeed the top, or any other deck. It's usually a female encircled by the circle of completion, by an Ouroboros. It's not an Ouroboros in this case. You get certain themes in world cards, whereas the Dreaming Way is slightly different. So you can see this fella here, and he's taking a well-earned nap. I say well-earned because, well, he's old. And I like to think that someone who achieves advanced years, needs a pat on the back for enduring life's toils, for still keeping a smile on their face, if indeed that's what they're doing. So yeah, he's earned his nap, and why not, eh? Why not? There's a very sort of Saturnian quality about this chap as well. He does look quite fatherly. He's bearded, he's old and craggy. You can imagine that if he was awake and you were a rascally child playing in his garden here, that he might get a bit stern with you. That's just me imagining, perhaps projecting. Well, tarot's all about listening to your intuition a lot of the time. There's also a gnome-like quality about him, I think. It might be because of this long-stemmed pipe, and popular culture tells us that long-stemmed pipes are usually smoked by wizards and gnomes. But the gnome is the mythical creature of the earth, if you like. So you might find that association in a lot of different disciplines, but I quite like that. So not only is he an elderly, a Saturnian person, but he's also a gnome. It works for me. A couple of other very interesting things going on in this card, I feel. There's a nice resplendent tree behind him, and it's not a young tree either. It's not a sapling. It's again a tree with advanced years, again to signify that idea of maturity, age, advanced growth, in a good way, in a good contextual way. If we dive even deeper into this card, and I'm not reversing this card for any particular reason, apart from to show you the book that he's reading. And this is quite clever. So one of the themes of world cards are the four motifs. So here's the Waite-Smith, and you have the bloke to signify Aquarius, the water bearer, eagle, that higher vibration of Scorpio, Taurus, the bull, ox, and Leo, the lion. So it's the fixed signs of the zodiac, and there are also lots of different connotations. In the book of Revelation, these were the beasts that sort of heralded the end of the world. I say the end of the world, I don't mean that at all. But yeah, also there's some Christian... I'm digressing. Forget it. Let's talk about the Dreaming Way. So yes, in the book, you can see here there's an angel type fella that I like to think is Aquarius. There's a lion, a bull, and indeed an eagle. Well, an eagle's head there, which I think is quite clever. So it's just slipping in that little tarot imagery there. Also, he has a pocket watch to tell the time. Again, that Saturnian idea of time moving on. Time stops for no one. It's just very, very clever. Yeah, I love this card. Lots of nice green and browns going on here. Again, symbolising the element of earth. The book doesn't really digress that much from what we understand the world card to mean. It talks about accomplishment, completion, fulfillment of your heart's desire. I believe the sentence is in the in the Dreaming Way little white book. And, you know, reversed, again, doesn't digress that far from established meanings: dissatisfaction, regret, isolation, and hanging on for more, or that delay for that fulfillment. But yeah, anyway, the world card it deserves a whole very in-length series of videos, but I'm just showing you this Dreaming Way one here because I love it. It's just cracking. So there you go, the world card from the Dreaming Way Tarot. Thank you very much for watching.